Hello, headphone mixers, or should I say IEM mixers this week. Changed it this week. So, I'm Paul Third, and that man across from me is Emrah Celik, an award-winning mix and mastering engineer with over 3 billion streams to his name, with over 90% of those coming from headphones. But we're not talking about headphones this week. Many of you have been asking us about in-ear monitors, IEMs. Many people have asked us, can you mix and master professionally on in-ear monitors? In-ear monitors are something that I'm still personally learning. I've got a lot in the studio now. I've tried quite a lot in the past. And I see the benefits of in-ear monitors because they can be tuned very, very well to the point where there's some in-ear monitors out there, actually quite a lot, that don't even need EQ. They're actually like bang on to a target, subs there, distortions all sorted out. Emrah, tell the audience your experience of mixing on IEMs, and again, we'll do a little bit of a review here as well. So we're going to kind of put two videos into one. So Emrah's going to talk a little bit about his experience mixing and mastering on in-ear monitors, and we'll kind of, as a use case, we're going to do ThieAudio. It's hard when I say it, but ThieAudio Oracle Mark III, which is an IEM that Emrah was raving about when it first came out, and again, I got a set, and I've again done quite a few mix and masters on them as well. So I've got an opinion, he's got an opinion, but when it comes to IEMs, honestly, like that man over there has way more experience and really, really digs IEMs. So Emrah, talk to me and the audience about IEMs. Can you mix and master professionally on them? Are there any downsides, any positives? And what's your experience with mixing and mastering? For example, using ThieAudio Oracle Mark III.
Yeah, the IEMs were more like, occasional listening things, and they were like more like live sound in-ear monitoring. They were not quite as big as now, and the technology in them is just evolved like incredible. Like a few years back, there were no such a things like mixing on the IEMs and stuff like that for me, and at least. But I mastered and stem mixed an album with 700 million streams, just exclusively on IEMs. So yeah, I know how to work with them, but they have more learning curve than the headphones, right? The way they interact with your brain and let's say body and skull is just different. The way they feel. There's no pinna involved, right? Just ear canal. The distance is very short.
Very short.
Between your eardrums and the IEMs. So that's why it's going to be hard. And for those who newly testing IEMs and stuff like that, I'm just going to tell you guys that I strongly believe these are going to be our mixing, mastering stuff in a few years.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe in 5 years, I don't know, but they are evolving just incredible. The different driver combinations, and you have single drivers, you have double drivers, triples, quattro. Just recently ThieAudio released the Valhalla with 20 drivers per.
20 drivers, Jesus.
Inside these, just like 4D drivers you have as a pair. So yeah, you can definitely mix with these. But if you got good stuff that we decided to review IEMs as well, right?
Yeah.
Because IEMs, as an advantage, you can just put them in a packet and go anywhere you like, and they don't really require amp and DAC and stuff like that. Just plug them
in on your Mac. Very easy to drive.
MacBook and drive.
Easy.
That's super easy, and you can mix on the plane. I remember I used to produce on planes when I toured as a touring DJ back in 2010 and 11. These could be a good monitoring system, but these can be a good mix and mastering reference quality sound because they are easier to tune for manufacturer. They don't interact acoustically with the pads like these, so you don't have any pad resonances. The only thing you have to be careful with the comfort and the weight of them. These are quite heavy, for example, because it has heavier drivers. These are triple. It has 3 different driver types. It has 2 DD, dynamic driver, 2 BA, balanced armature, and 2 ESD, which is electrostatic. And when it comes to electrostatic, it's just hanging in the air. There's no connection in driver between magnet, and it's just incredibly fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like the micro details you get and transient response you get from these, incredible. And isolation is incredible. For example, if I were to record an artist, I will put them on their ears to record because they don't leak anything to the microphone as much as a closed back headphones. I strongly believe you need, if you're serious about professional audio and mixing mastering, you have to have at least 3 pairs of I'm not joking, 3 pairs of IEMs in your arsenal as a collection.
And
like
why would you say
headphones.
that is? Why would you say 3?
Because you will experience different drivers.
Okay.
ESDs, there is planar magnet, there is only BA, right? Only BA configuration, just single drivers, dynamic drivers. So every single of them will give you a different perspective.
Okay.
And different way of hearing things and details. And that's why I'm telling you that, these are triples. You should have, these are one dynamic drivers that I use. And there are some, we have like open back, open back.
Well, we'll cover
These
those. They're those. They're crazy, man. We'll cover those soon.
Open
Mental.
back IEMs, like open back, right? Yep. And there are planar magnet IEMs,
crazy
just
sounding.
planar magnet drivers,
crazy
sounding. The more you have different sound source that you can check on, check your mixes on, it's better. Sometimes I mix on headphones, sometimes I switch to the speakers, sometimes I switch to the IEMs and I catch different things that I missed. And when I focus on the speakers, the things that I missed, trying to catch on the speakers, then I start catching. Once you hear it, you never forget it.
So I think a question for you, Emrah, right? Because I'm trying to think what the audience is going to be doing and kind of questions we get asked quite a lot. So with the in-ear monitors being obviously like directly in your ear, and so you're dealing with the ear canal and stuff. So how do you feel that in-ear monitors are in regards to their staging and imaging in regards to crossfeed? Do you feel that most IEMs don't need crossfeed? Do you think that crossfeed works with IEMs? Like, what's your, position when it comes to that element? Because many people have asked me, and I don't really know that I've got the right answer for them yet when it comes to like crossfeed and stuff with IEMs.
Yeah, if the cable doesn't create any leakage from left to right and right to left, that's where you get lost. And that's why you have to use crossfeed.
Mm-hmm.
And the separation between left and right is wider, is more than headphones. So there's no interaction between your left ears and right ears as much as you do with headphones, right?
Yeah.
At least with open backs, there is at least a slight leakage that you can hear
like
from left to right.
And stuff, and the egg-shaped kind of cups and stuff, yeah.
But these are completely isolated from each other. That's why you have to, not all the time, but you have to use or get used to the sound of the IEMs. But until then, you can use crossfeed, and then you start hearing left to right and just imaging, because there's no acoustic interaction as pads and stuff like that. The group delay that I don't want to geek you about it, but group delay is incredibly accurate on almost all IEMs. So you get the imaging like perfect imaging. But you have to, if you use a proper, crossfeed. So every single steps, the test we have that you hear, and people play games with these and they get better results. They hear better. The isolation is better and the imaging is way better than headphones with these. I think so. But there's no stage.
That's what now this is something that, again, I'll kind of chip in here with my experience where Emrah's a lot more experienced than I am. Again, Emrah's in a way where he's always taught me, don't ever let the headphone almost kind of lead the mixer. It's like the mixer leads, the headphone, the IEM, the speaker. So that's why he can mix on so many different systems, because he's taught his ears and his brain, right, okay, that's not maybe meant to sit there, but that's how that's meant to sit, yada, yada. I've used the Oracle Mark IIIs on quite a few occasions. I even did an Atmos mix. And tried to see how that worked. I tried a binaural mix. I've done quite a lot of pre-mixing on them. I find them great for pre-mixing. I think now with the Oracle Mark IIIs, I'll put a frequency response chart up here. And, we do feel that they are quite overly bassy for me and Emrah. So we do reduce a bit of the low end, and again we have made some adjustments, and we'll have our EQ on the screen here that we advise just to kind of fix a few things that we kind of think need adjusted. But I think for what Emrah was talking about in regards to the dynamics, that's something that I always feel kind of sometimes are lacking on some budget IEMs. So again, I remember I tried the Truth Ears for a long time. I had the blue ones and I gave them to my mum. And tonally, again, they're like nearly bang on to the in-ear Harman target. And yeah, I think I was able to make a lot of tonal decisions, but the stage was always something I got wrong. Sometimes the panning I didn't get right, and I'd always get the reverbs wrong. Sometimes I'd add too much of a stage to make them, and maybe sometimes I'd add too much separation. And I do find that there is a bit of a jump in quality with more expensive IEMs. Especially hearing that with some of the Kiwi ears IEMs that have came up. But the Oracle Mark IIIs, dynamic-wise, as Emrah was talking about, I never, ever really second judge dynamic decisions that I make on them. That's one thing that I think translates really well on the Oracles is when I do compression, again, even when I'm judging, like my limiter and clipping, at the end of the mix and stuff, and like on the drums and the bass and stuff, dynamics I always think I get right. Tonally, I never really second guess myself that much. I tried doing it without EQ, and then I wasn't getting the right translation. But with EQ, just slight amount of EQ, again, the Oracle Mark IIIs are very accurate. So compression-wise and tonally, you get good translation out of them. And I don't really feel with Oracles that I know that I'm genuinely like blocking my left and right ear off. I do think that they've got a decent image in there. It's just the front to back and the verbs. And a very good low end, by the way. Oh, and I remember when Emrah first got the Oracles, the Mark IIIs, he was like, bro, hear the sub. Oh, Jesus, on these Mark IIIs, it's crazy. They've got very, very nice, fast bass punch in there as well. But for whatever reason, Emrah, there is always an element with IEMs that I just struggle with the verbs and sometimes the effects. And I think it's because to me, IEMs do feel smaller. It's almost like with headphones, I feel like it's here in front of me. But with IEMs, it feels like it's a little bit here. And again, it's not to say it's like closed back headphones where you get like, say, like a lot of like Bayer dynamics that, the vocal sounds like it's here in your head and the bass is fucking super wide and you need crossfeed. Again, like the Oracles for me don't need crossfeed in my personal opinion. But there's always an element to the openness and the bigness of the overall stage that sometimes I do struggle with. I almost feel like there is a limitation to it. But as Emrah said, it is something that he reminds me all the time. He's like, bro, always remember, a good mix should sound good on everything. If you listen to like these IEMs that are tuned to sound good, nobody makes things to sound shit. If it doesn't sound good and something's really overly off, then there's something overly off in your mix. So it is something that I do, that I am going back and forth, and I am on a bit of an IEM journey just now to try and find IEMs that I can trust, where I can, listen to it and not be overly distracted and go, oh, I want to change that, and that, and that. There's some IEMs where I've been like, I need to really change this to make it sound the way I want it to sound. But I think having that realization of learning what the sound of an IEM should be is half the battle, which is what Emrah's done. So how do you get around that, Emrah? Actually, no, I think I already know the answer, actually. Like, because you did say sometimes the stage could maybe be a bit of an issue. I take it that's where multiple references come from. Again, it's like if you're maybe struggling on something on an IEM, you're unsure, you'll go to your headphones, you'll go to your speakers. That's the whole point of having all-round multiple translation. Is that kind of what you do? If there's something that you have, whether it be headphones or speakers, if something's maybe just not sitting right to you, you'll listen to it on another reference.
Yeah, man. Every day when I go out for walking, I get these or other IEMs I have because they all different,
Yeah.
I feel sometimes, it's just like a whiskey in a different taste, right? Or beer in a different taste.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to drink a simple whiskey, or sometimes you want to drink really high quality whiskey. That's the thing. And when I go out on walking, I check my masterings and my mixes till I feel like I'm getting the vibe out of them. If I feel that, then I believe I got the good results.
Yeah.
And then I always check if I'm doing an album, I always check albums on these, not these models, but IEMs, I mean, in general. Because look around you, bro. You remember everywhere we go, we were in the London last week, right?
Yeah.
You and me. Everywhere we go, everybody has a pair of IEMs.
Apple AirPods, fucking other IEMs, yeah.
Anything, like even these, like, what was that? Moondrop Space Travel. I got these with me when I was in London. You see, these are becoming the people's, because of the simplicity, and it's just a few grams you have to carry around, and you got the bag and shit. These are going to be the listening source of every
Future
people
audio
out there.
That's a good point.
Future audio, because people stop using headphones over ears because these are more convenience. That's why you have to check how they will hear your mixes on IEMs, so you can decide. Because I remember once, I believe I did the great mix, right? Incredible mix. Like, oh my God, this must be my best mix ever. And then I sent it to client, and he was checking mixes on his iPods, AirPods. No, not iPods, AirPods, right?
AirPods, yeah.
Not Pros, but the
the V ones.
Yeah. And he was telling me something missing, something lacking, something missing, something lacking. And I was like, okay, let me check. Because I had a pair of IEMs, and I put them, and I was like, oh, he's right. How am I missed it? That's probably because of my ear fatigue and something like that. And I fixed it. I sent it to him because he used to listen everything, his songs and artists, right?
Yeah.
He used to listen everybody else and his own songs in those shitty AirPods. They sound shit. But because he judged everything based on his AirPods, I have to be in the same seat with him to understand what he is talking about. And that helped me a lot. And it was just we two, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So, IEM's important. And these are, I'm holding Oracle
Mark
MKIII, Mark III. These are came last year, right? We got them last year. And these are 2 DD. My favorite driver configuration is DD, BA, and EST. Like EST is electrostatic, BA is balanced armature. It is just incredible on mid-range, like mid-range king. Warm, like, lovely, meaty mid-range that you get from BAs. And DD, dynamic drivers, is the best in case IEMs, that you should definitely check dynamic drivers. Look for dynamic drivers if you want to hear real bass. And I can I strongly believe that you can judge bass better on true dynamic driver configuration and any headphones out there. Just that's how I think. It's my humble opinion. And these are, they are not comfy. They are heavy. That's why I can use them like 30 minutes and I have to take them out because they hurt my ears. But we're going to introduce a lot of IEMs here. The comfort, like incredible, like you can wear them like all day long, right?
Yeah.
So, and these are bass heavy.
Very bass
really
heavy,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, really good IEMs. You have to EQ them. But out of the box, if you want to enjoy music, just if you're, especially in the EDM.
Oh, if you're a bass head, you'll love the stock tuning of those.
Yeah, you're going to love these. Like they are very energetic.
Yeah.
And they have meaty subs and one of the best subs you can get out of any IEMs in these. And I highly recommend these. How much was there in the pound?
You said to me £450, I think you said
$450,
to me.
Yeah, and $589 I'm seeing on the webpage. So these are quite expensive, but these are one of the best IEMs that you can get for the money. And this is for ThieAudio Oracle MKIII. And we will introduce you different, even budgets IEMs like maybe $20 or something.
Yeah.
And you're gonna like them as well.
Yeah. So I think so. Is there a kind of Emrah for you? Is it kind of just to finish up? Because I know people will ask in terms of the price to performance ratio. Because again, IEMs are just getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and more affordable. Is there a level for you price wise, Emrah, where you just think that that's too expensive? Like, do you think that there are IEMs that are worth £1,000, £2,000, £3,000, or do you think that the quality has become so affordable? And it's just everything's kind of narrowed down now that you don't need to actually spend that much, or do you think there is like still a quality up there for a lot of more expensive IEMs?
Yeah, if you ever heard of Monarch MK3s, you will tell that the sound quality is really different. At $2,000, $3,000, maybe we can introduce some $2,000 IEMs here in future. Depends on the presentation they provide, right? Like
yeah.
20 drivers here, 20 drivers here. Like I can't imagine the sound of it, right?
Yeah.
I heard 10 drivers here and 10 drivers here. Monarch MK3s. These are 6.6, right?
Yeah.
And the more you add, the sound is getting more complicated and expensive.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, Emrah, right, where it stands just now, would you feel comfortable? Imagine if somebody said to you, right, Emrah, right, headphones aren't a thing anymore. Like speakers aren't a thing anymore. You must spend the rest of your career on IEMs. Okay, here are 2 questions because I already know your answer. 1, do you think you'd be able to do it? But 2, do you think you'd be able to do it? 1, do you think you'd be able to do it? 2, do you think you'd be able to do it to your best ability?
If you wanna an answer from the heart, if they remove headphones and my studio monitors and everything from me, I wouldn't continue to make mixing, and I will find another job because I love speakers, I love headphones, I love everything about sound.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to continue, if I stay in a island, right?
I know this is such a hypothetical world right now.
In an island, and I have just give me 3 IEMs, 3 different IEMs, like full dynamic drivers, and triple, a BA and ESD, and like a full planar magnet. That I could still do my job.
Yeah, but what would
without an issue.
But would you say that? Yeah. So I think from what I'm kind of gathering is that if you have various IEMs, you can make mixing on IEMs work more than just having one set of IEM. Where on headphones, again, you could if I gave you the Audio Organic and a topping amp, you could just fucking mix the rest of your career and you'd feel quite comfortable with that. But
definitely.
But with IEMs, it's a thing where because there are such different designs, and they do. Honestly, if you go from like Truth Ear Zero to like the Kiwi Ears planar magnet to Astral to like the Oracle Mark III to the Moondrop Aria Snow. They all fucking sound different. And they all kind of show a different perspective of the mix. So I think that would be a nice way to end on. If we do find, you know, an IEM that we do genuinely believe it's like you could treat it like an Aria organic and you could just mix on that solely, then obviously, you know, we'll cover that in great detail. But I think for the meantime, the good thing for you all listening and watching is that IEMs are becoming more affordable, and there are, as Emrah said, he's wearing fucking £10, £20 fucking IEMs. And, you know, there's some IEMs out there that cost £100 that sound pretty good. And again, they're well tuned. And they can give you a certain element of translation. So I would say from this whole video, if I can leave with a final kind of conclusion, yes, you can mix and master on IEMs, but try and combine that with headphones in the same way that we say don't just mix on speakers, combine that with headphones. Don't just mix solely on headphones, combine those with speakers. And in the same time, combine those with IEMs as well. And if you can get your hands on more IEMs, again, learn that sound. Most importantly, learn the sound of them. And, you know, combine, you know, get 2 or 3, get a cheap one, get a really budget one, so you can kind of judge what the shittest that kind of people are listening to for the money. Get a medium one and then get, you know, a pretty expensive one, because you do get people that want to pay more money, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, you can make them work, but again, it's a whole system. I know it's expensive and you don't want to hear, you have to acoustically treat your room and get speakers. And then you have to, you know, spend money on headphones and an amp, and then you have to get IEMs as well. But if you want to do this professionally and get the best all-round average translation possible, you need to have as many systems as possible. So, yeah,
bro. Let's do the math, right? I spent 25,000 euros in this room.
Yeah.
To treat this room.
Yep.
I spent 11,000 euros on my speakers. That's let's say it's $40,000.
Yeah.
Like, right. I mean, come on.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
You get the point.
Hopefully what you can see there, again, there's the big difference in investment, right? If you could just mix on, like, you know, £600 IEMs, that man wouldn't have spent fucking 40 grand on getting his room and his speakers, you know, to sound the way that they do. Mixing is all about translation, and unfortunately, everybody doesn't listen on the same systems. You have to get your mixes to translate to the best systems, and also sometimes the worst systems as well. So yeah, hopefully we've answered your questions, and if you are interested in the Oracle Mark III from ThieAudio, again, we'll leave a link in the description as well if you're interested and you want to try them out. And if you have them, or if you have tried them out, again, leave your opinions down below, and also let us know what IEM you have been listening to, and most importantly, what IEM you have been mixing and mastering on. Is there any ones that you find work better than others? Do you agree with Emrah in regards to the drivers? Are there certain driver configurations that you prefer? Again, let's have a nice discussion down below, because it's all a journey. And if you do want to learn more about headphone mixing in more detail, there is a Discord that me and Emrah have created. Well, I've created it, and Emrah just comes on every so often. He's on it fucking every day. That man pops on the Discord every day. He can't help himself. But Emrah's on it a lot, and there's over, like, it's getting close to like 150 paid members, all headphone mixers, some of them mixing on IEMs, have speakers, and, you know, we cover everything in regards to audio, from like mixing, plugins, fucking you name it, we do it, and we talk about it. So yeah, become a MixPhones channel member. We'll send you a link to the Discord. You can join, and yeah, you can learn more about mixing and mastering. So there we have it. Emrah, thank you again so much for your time, bro. I know you're a very busy man.
My pleasure, bro.
2 videos tonight, and it's now 25 to 12 my time. Jeezy peeps, the things that we do to help people out, just to mix and master on headphones and IEMs.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, there you go. My name's Paul Third. That's Emrah Celik. Thank you so much again for your time, and we'll see you again next week on MixPhones.